So Zener diode, right? The symbol is this, as you might already know. You may be very familiar with this symbol at least, right? So the very important point in a Zener diode is you want to operate this diode, this particular diode, in reverse bias condition. Okay, so all of us know the VI characteristics of a PN junction diode. When I tell a PN junction diode, I mean the usual diode that all of you already know by now, right? If I ask you to plot the VI characteristics of a PN junction diode in forward bias, the characteristic looks something like this, where this is your VD. For silicon, it's 0.7 volts around. In the reverse bias direction, it is 0 till a particular point where it breaks down, right? The current is 0 till a particular point, beyond which there is a breakdown which occurs, right? And this you can call it as VD. Again, VD in the negative direction, right? This is your characteristic of a PN junction diode, right? Here, very important thing to note here is a PN junction diode is always operated only in the forward bias condition. You do not want a condition where the breakdown would occur. You do not want this breakdown region to happen in a PN junction diode. The moment breakdown happens in a PN junction diode, the diode is damaged. You cannot reuse the diode. The diode gets heated up and it is damaged. Okay, whereas for a Zener diode, you purposely want to operate the Zener diode in breakdown condition. Okay, I'll show you what is desirable. Okay, again, the forward bias condition for a Zener diode looks exactly the same as your PN junction diode. Forward bias is exactly the same as your PN junction diode. In the reverse bias condition, again, the Zener diode characteristic is pretty similar to your PN junction diode characteristic. And you call this voltage where the breakdown occurs as Zener voltage, VZ. VZ is called as Zener voltage. There's a very important reason why you would want to operate in the breakdown region. The reason why you want to operate in the breakdown region, as I told in the previous class, is if you look at the VI characteristic, the current keeps on changing from one point to another point, whereas the voltage is almost constant, right? There is no much difference at the voltage from this point to this point. It's almost same. There is some change, but very minuscule change. Right? In the same way, see, for a forward bias PN junction, you consider any voltage above 0.7 volts. See, when the current is say 0.1 milliamp, the voltage is 0.7. When current is 0.9 milliamp, let's say the voltage is say 0.78. But still, what do you consider? You consider this voltage to be approximately equals 0.7, right? You replace this PN junction diode with a battery of 0.7 volts, right? Am I right? That's the approximation that you do. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
In the same way, for a Zener diode, if it's operating beyond the breakdown condition, what you do is you typically replace the Zener diode with a voltage source, and the voltage source value is VZ. And one very important point to note here is if the Zener diode looks like this, sorry, let me rewrite. If the Zener diode is connected in the circuit like this, the equivalent to this is you replace it with a battery VSET. Note the positive and the negative terminal. The positive terminal is your cathode of the Zener diode, and the negative terminal is the anode of your Zener diode. The reason why you do this is you purposely want to operate the Zener diode in the reverse bias condition. Okay, so whenever you are connecting a voltage like this, say V source, to your Zener diode, maybe through a resistor RS, and if Vs is greater than the Zener diode voltage Vz, then the voltage across the Zener diode is Vz. Okay, so you can replace this Zener diode with a battery like this, just as you do with the PN junction diode if it is forward biased, or a Zener diode if it is reverse biased. You replace it with the battery. And again, this is an approximation. You know for sure that it is not only the voltage source Vz, you also have a resistor in association with the Zener diode voltage source. We'll cover that maybe after your T1. Okay. As of now, it's very important for you to note that whenever your Zener diode is reverse bias, you replace it with a battery VZ here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next. Just hold on.
Sir, why you will tell later, sir?
Why I will tell what later?
I mean, you told us that when Zener diode is reverse biased, we have to replace it with battery.
Just hold on. Sorry, there was some interruption. Yes. So the reason why I told that we will discuss why a Zener diode is replaced with the battery along with the resistor, right? Did you understand why you're replacing it with the battery first of all? I never told that I will tell that later. Who asked me this question?
Sir, Kartikeya, sir.
Yes, Kartikeya. Did you understand why you're replacing the Zener diode with a battery like this? Why did you replace the forward bias PN junction? Let me draw the forward bias PN junction circuit. Okay, something like this. Call this as plus minus. This is your source voltage. This is your RS. I'm in slide number 40. I hope all of you can see. Can you see?
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
sir, we
sir.
can.
You assume that the voltage across the diode is 0.7 volts, right? So what do? You replace it with the battery of 0.7 volts. Why do you do so? Kartikeya.
It is a like a battery source only, so diode is like this.
Why? Because the VI characteristics of it looks exactly like that, right? It looks something like this, right? It is an approximation. You know that it's an approximation. That's the reason VD and IDC here, irrespective of what is the current, there is no much change in the voltage, right? From this point to this point, the current change is too much, but the voltage change is only this much. Let me draw that in another slide and show you. Okay, it's very important that you understand this. It looks something like this, right? So let me say the current at this point is 0.1 milliamp, as I already told, and the current at this point is say 0.6 milliamp. when you are looking at this difference, see the difference in the x-axis and the difference in the y-axis. Difference in the x-axis is too small when compared to the difference in the y-axis, right? So it means that the voltage does not change by much, even if there is a large change in the current. That's the reason you replace it with an approximate battery of 0.7 volts. In the same way, for a Zener diode, when you are reverse biasing the Zener diode, the same thing happens. I mean, it works in the breakdown condition. In the breakdown condition, as you can see, it is exactly the same way as the forward bias condition for your PN junction diode, right? That is the reason you are replacing this Zener diode with a battery source whose value is VZ. Now there 0.7 volt was a constant value. Here for a Zener diode, VZ, depending upon which Zener diode you are purchasing. So when you go to the market and ask the shopkeeper to give you a Zener diode, he will of course ask you what is the rating of the Zener diode. You want a Zener diode whose Zener voltage is 2 volts or 20 volts or 100 volts. It depends. But when you go to the market and ask for a PN junction diode, 99.99% of the time you will get a silicon diode whose rating is 0.7 volts. Did you understand why you're replacing it with the battery? I told that after T1, I'll tell you what happens when you replace it with a resistor and a battery. Of course, you know that this is not a flat line, no? This is not a flat line. There is some slope to it. And you will have a resistance associated with it, right? Are you getting a curve which looks something like this in the negative direction? Is it a straight line, vertical line? It is not a straight vertical line. No, there is some slope associated with it, right? So there will be a resistance, RZ, Zener resistance. That approximation we will discuss after T1. That's what I told. Did you understand? Whoever asked the question, Kartikeya, did you understand this?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
You have to first listen what I tell, okay, before you ask a question. All right? All right. Okay. So I hope all of you understood what is a Zener diode and how do you replace the Zener diode with? Right now, very important for you to know that the source voltage, if the source voltage is greater than the Zener voltage, only then the Zener diode will, give you a voltage of VZ across it. Okay, let me draw a circuit and re-explain again. Okay, I'll maybe explain it here. I am in 39th slide. I'll explain what I just told. So this is your source voltage. And this is your source resistance. And this is your Zener diode.
Sir, your screen got stuck at 38th slide.
How about now? Is it moving?
Yes, sir.
I'm in slide number 39 and I hope you can see the circuit.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So what is the functionality of the Zener diode? So whenever your source voltage Vs is greater than the Zener diode voltage, what defines the Zener diode voltage? What defines the Zener diode voltage is you'll be given in the question that the Zener voltage of this diode is say 2 volts. Or the Zener voltage of this diode is given as 10 volts. Okay, you'll be given the Zener voltage Vz. So you know that the voltage across these two nodes should be greater than Zener voltage. If it is greater than Zener voltage, then the voltage across the Zener diode same as Vz. I'll give you an example. Let us say the Zener voltage of what I've drawn here, what I've shown here, VZ is say 10 volts. Okay. Now let us say that your source voltage is 2 volts. You have given a source voltage of 2 volts. Let me take RS as 10K or whatever I want to. Let me take this as 10 kilo ohm. Okay. Now, since the source voltage is less than VZ, here Vs is 2 volts, VZ is 10 volts. The voltage across the Zener diode is not 10 volts. The voltage across the Zener diode will be 2 volts only, because this diode is not going to operate in breakdown condition. It will not operate in breakdown condition. So whatever input voltage that you're going to give, the same voltage you will end up getting here. There is no point in using a Zener diode. But when your Vs is say 20 volts, what is the voltage across the Zener diode? Can someone tell me what is the voltage across the Zener diode when the input voltage is 20 volts?
10 volts, sir.
It will be 10 volts. If you use 12 volts, the answer is 10 volts. If you use 15 volts, the answer is 10 volts. If you use 25 volts, the answer is 10 volts. I hope you get the point. Whatever Vs value that you're going to use, the output will be 10 volts. It is regulating the voltage, but provided Vs should be greater than Vz.
What if Vs is 10 volts?
Great question. If Vs is 10 volts, then the output is 10 volts, right? If it is slightly greater than the Zener voltage, you will end up getting the output as 10 volts. What if it is 9.99 volts? The answer is 9.99 you will get. See, it is like I see the breakdown condition. The moment I cross the breakdown condition, it will be the output will be 10 volts or the output will be VZ. What if I operate my PN junction diode exactly at 0.7 volts? You will consider it to be forward bias, no?
Yes, sir.
Who asked me the question?
Piyush.
Yes, Piyush. So when I tell that the input is 0.7 volts, you do consider it to be forward bias, right? In the same way, when the rating is VZ or 10 volts at the input, you will consider it to be crossing the breakdown condition and you will tell that the output is 10 volts.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you told that if Vs is less than Vz, then the Vs will be output, and if the Vs is greater than Vz, then the Vz should be output, no, sir.
Right.
If you give very more value to Vs like 100,000 like that, sir, then also 10 on.
Zener diode. See, I am talking in ideal case. Okay, let me talk in terms of current rating and everything. See, whenever you buy a Zener diode in the market, or whenever you buy a silicon diode, there will be a data sheet associated with it. I hope all of you know the term data sheet. Do you know? Maybe you can Google and check. Zener diode data sheet, you can just Google and check. So for every single diode, whatever, for every single electronic component that you're going to purchase, there will be minimum current and maximum current that the diode can handle. Okay, in the same way, good that you asked that question. Zener diode will have a minimum current and the maximum current which it can handle. When you give 100 volts as the input, if there is, and the maximum Zener current that probably Zener diode can handle is say 50 milliamps, the Zener diode is going to damage. Okay. Ideally speaking, you can tell even if I give 100 volts as the input, the output voltage what I should get is 10 volts, but it depends upon the Zener current. Slowly I'll move on to that. In this class only I will cover that. Okay. So good that you asked that question, because the next topic what I wanted to tell you is when you buy a Zener diode, apart from you knowing what is the Zener voltage, it is also very important that you know what is the maximum Zener current that Zener diode can take in. Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do you put this RS in series with the PN junction diode? Can anyone tell? You have VS and RS. Why do you put this RS in series with the PN junction diode?
Same current should flow through it. So.
What if you don't put this RS? What is the role of the RS?
There won't be any drop across RS, sir. So the voltage we apply in this battery, it will go directly to the diode.
No, that is okay. That is all right. Okay. I want.
Chart, no, sir. Like in data table, you know, sir. For
All right. I don't think so. You know, I just wanted to check if you know or not. Okay. That's not the reason why you put an RS. It's mandatory that you put an RS in series with the PN junction diode. Okay. You cannot connect a circuit in such a way that you have a VS source voltage and just connect this RS. Practically, you should never do that. That's because this RS, I'll tell you what is this RS called as. RS is called as current limiting resistor. Have you heard about this term?
No, sir.
Okay. The reason why you put this RS in series with the diode is because suddenly you do not want the diode to see a lot of current. The PN junction diode will also have the maximum current it can take. Okay, you do not want the PN junction diode to be on instantly at a very, say you put say 30 volts here. Suddenly the PN junction diode, if there is a lot of current which flows through the PN junction diode, the diode will damage. Okay, so there will be a maximum current, PN junction current associated with it. That is the reason for all the PN junction diode circuits that you might have come across, you will always put this RS. Even if you don't come across, at least in theory, in practical, in your lab, it is mandatory that you put an RS in series with the PN junction diode. You cannot have a circuit where you don't put a resistor in series with the PN junction diode. In the same way, for a Zener diode also, there is a very important reason why you put this RS. Again, the same reason. Current limiting resistance. That resistance is called as current limiting resistance. You do not want the diode to see a lot of current when it is, I mean, in this case, when it is crossing the breakdown condition. Okay. You do not want the diode to, I mean, you do not want all the current to just rush in through the PN junction diode. I mean, through the Zener diode. That's the reason you put an RS. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it is very important that you know the diode rating, which is what is the Zener voltage of the diode. Okay. And what is the maximum current that diode can withstand. Okay. Beyond that, if there is a current which is going to flow through the Zener diode, it won't work. You are going to burn the diode. It will not work. The diode will get heated up and you cannot reuse the diode again, all over again. In the same way, you will have a minimum current. Minimum current is approximately very closer to 0 milliamp. I mean, 0 amp. It will be very closer to 0 milliamp, maybe around 1 or 2 milliamp, or maybe 0.1 or 0.2 milliamp will be the minimum current. So that minimum current should flow through so that the Zener diode would operate. Okay. So the two very important conditions for a Zener diode is, for a Zener diode to work in breakdown condition is, first condition is Vs should be greater than Vz. Your source voltage should be greater than Vz. The second condition is your current IZK. I mean, the current of the Zener diode should be between the minimum current and the maximum current. These are the two conditions which is very important for your Zener diode to act as a voltage regulator. Why is it called as a voltage regulator? Because irrespective of what is the source voltage that you give at the input side, if the condition Vs is greater than Vz, you will end up getting the output voltage to be equals Vz. V out will always be Vz if Vs is greater than Vz. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes.
till now we have discussed it, the reverse bias condition, no, sir.
We are not going to. I will. Interrupt you. Zener diode is discussed only in reverse bias condition and only in breakdown condition. I am least bothered if the diode is working in forward bias. If it is working in the forward bias, it will act as a normal PN junction diode.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir. I mean, my doubt
It
is like
the same way that a PN junction diode is always functional only in the forward bias. You should not be concerned what happens to the PN junction diode if it is reverse bias. You know that the current is zero. You assume that it is open circuited, right? In the same way here, Zener diode's particular application is only in the breakdown condition. Say if by mistake you forward bias it, the diode will act as a normal PN junction diode. But it is not going to give you any special add-on. Here the special add-on is voltage regulation, right? The voltage is getting regulated, right?
sir.
Are you following?
Yes, sir. Sir, I mean, my doubt is like, for example, in an examination point of view, they mentioned about Zener diode, but they didn't mention about the biasing condition or breakdown like that. They don't mention means if they ask question like this means we have
Everything
to.
will be mentioned. If it is not mentioned, then the question is incomplete. No. If you see here, let me start giving an example. Okay. Let me take. That's the reason I told this problem. No, I told this problem for that reason, right? I discussed everything in this problem. Zener voltage is mentioned as 10 volts. If source voltage is say 2 volts, I told the output you will end up getting 2. But if you keep on increasing the source voltage, irrespective of what is the source voltage, Vs is greater than Vz, the output is 10 volts, right? That's the reason I discuss this problem. Let us discuss a more complex problem, or let us discuss a problem where we'll see what happens if you connect a load resistor. Okay. Stylus is not working. So I put a load resistor here. I have an RS and I have an RL. Again, this is Vs. Okay. Now, Vz is given in the question. Vz will always be given in the question. Okay, it need not be that it is always given in the question. It can, output voltage can be given, and you may be asked to find out what is Vz. But yes, known and unknown, depending upon what is the requirement, it will be changed. Okay, so let us say that Vz is given in the question. Okay, now here the circuit is slightly different from the circuit what you had previously. Earlier, I did not have this RL, and the only condition what I used to see was Vs is it greater than Vz, right? In this case, that won't suffice because there will be a current which flows through RL also, right? If there is a current Is here, the current flowing through Iz, the current flowing through Zener diode and the current flowing through load resistor are two different currents, right?
Yes, sir.
So it is very important to find out what is the current across these two nodes, Earlier, the current across these two nodes without RL was same as Vs. Am I right? Now it is not so. Now the voltage across these two nodes will be different because the current flowing through RS and the current flowing through RL will be different. Why? Because you have an extra branch connected in parallel with the Zener diode, right? So what do you do? How would you check if it is in breakdown condition? Can anyone tell me how to check if it is in breakdown condition? Earlier you used Vs greater than Vz. Now what condition will you use? How will you check the voltage across these node? I mean, how will you check the voltage at this node?
So we can do current through RL into RLs as they're in parallel.
Can you repeat again? How can you find out? See, the first assumption that the voltage across the Zener diode is Vz is true only when the voltage at across these green nodes is greater than Vz, right? That you don't know. So you cannot make an assumption initially, right? So the way that you, since we don't have too much time, I'll tell you the answer. The way that you solve this is you assume that there is no Zener diode connected, okay? And you find out what is the voltage at this node. How will you find out the voltage across these two nodes? Just KVL, right? What would that be? What would VTH be? What would the voltage across these two nodes be? It will be RL divided by RL plus RS into Vs, right? Are you familiar with Thevenin's equivalent circuit? Are you familiar with Thevenin's equivalent?
Yes, sir.
So that's exactly what you're doing here. Okay, you just take out the diode and find out what is VTH, Thevenin voltage. Okay, that has to be greater than VZ. I'll reiterate, okay, I'll redraw because that looked very cluttered. Whenever you have a load resistor connected, what you check is the VTH. That is, you remove this diode. I'll strike it out. You remove this diode and find out what is the voltage across these two nodes. What is VTH? VTH is nothing but RL divided by RL plus RS into Vs. Now this VTH should be greater than Vs. Sorry, should be greater than Vz. Only if it is greater than Vz will the Zener diode act as a voltage regulator. If it is true, then the voltage across the Zener diode or the output voltage will be Vz. Only if this condition is true. We'll solve some problems to understand better. Okay. Is this clear? What I told is clear? Is this clear? Guys, please respond. If it is not clear, you have to let me know. Okay, since you're not responding,
Sir,
shall I
VTH,
assume that you have understood? Yes,
Sir,
yes, please
we
assume.
just found the VTH now, sir.
We found
that is-
VTH. Yes.
Only
How
that
did
is enough.
only that is enough. So this VTH has to be greater than VZ. Say you connect a circuit like this and your VTH is, say, you're getting RL divided by RL plus RS into Vs. say 6 volts, and your Zener voltage is given as, my goodness, this is not, and your Zener voltage is given as 10 volts, then it means 6 volts is less than 10 volts. So this diode is not going to act as a voltage regulator. This Zener diode will not act as a voltage regulator. Okay, but if you get VTH to be greater than 10 volts, say it's 16 volts, then 16 volts is greater than 10 volts, right? There's Zener voltage. So obviously the voltage across RL will be 10 volts. Let us solve that in a problem and check. I hope you understood what I just told now. Is this clear?
So VTH should be greater than 10, like VZ to act as a
VZ.
voltage regulator, right?
Obviously, yes.
Okay, sir.
This is, I mean, isn't this network theory? I mean, I'm not adding any more value to what I'm teaching now because it is plain network theory. You know, the moment you have an RL connected there, obviously the current is going to divide, and that's the reason you do the voltage division and find out what is the voltage at this node, right? It is simple network theory concept. Kindly respond. Okay. If you have not followed, please let me know.
Sir, can you explain a numerical problem
If
related to
I
this?
will do that. I will do that. But did you understand what is the condition and why we are looking at it in that way?
Yes,
I will
sir.
explain in a problem. But I want you to understand this. It is, I mean, at least the condition I hope you have understood. You check what is the VTH. You open the diode and check what is the VTH, and that would give you a value. And if that VTH is greater than VZ, then obviously the voltage across RL will be same as VZ. If not, it won't be same as VZ. Very simple to
Yes, sir.
understand. It's not a complicated concept. Now, I'll come to the more slightly complex concept, okay? And that is, it need not be that your load resistor is a constant value. It can so happen that the load resistance varies. Obviously, your VS and RS are same, are constant value, right? If you keep on decreasing the value of RL, what do you think happens to VTH? VTH will increase or decrease? If you, let us say, keep on decreasing the value of RL. If RL decreases. First, let me write the VTH formula. VTH equals RL divided by RL plus RS into VS. Am I right? All of you agree with me?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, my question is, when you decrease RL, what happens to VTH? If you stare at this formula, you will be able to tell. Yes, someone told the answer. It is
decreases.
when RL decreases, VTH decreases, right? VTH decreases with the decrease in RL. So when VTH keeps on decreasing, it may so happen that it might be lesser than the Zener voltage. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So it is very important to know, whenever you have a variable resistor here, it is very important to know what is the minimum value of RL that you can have. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what would the minimum value of RL? How can you find out the minimum value of RL? Minimum value of RL is when VTH equals VZ, right? VTH should at least be equals VZ, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let me rewrite the equation. So RL divided by RL plus RS, which is your VTH, times VS, this should at least be equals VZ, right? Because you cannot keep on decreasing your RL and make it 0. If you make it 0, then VTH will be 0, right? So Your VTH won't be 0, it will be Vs by Rs. But I hope you understood what I just told. If you keep on decreasing the value of RL, your VTH keeps on decreasing, and your you may end up in a condition where your VTH will be less than Vz. So if you're asked to find out what is the minimum value of RL, just by solving this equation, you can find out what is the minimum value of RL. And that is, now this RL becomes RL min, right? So RL min, if you solve this, you will end up getting it to be Rs into Vz divided by Vs minus Vz. You can solve this and check, okay? I'm just writing the final equation. Zener diode works in breakdown condition only if RL is at least this, when you have a variable load resistor connected at the output end. I will solve all these with the I will explain all these with the problem, but I hope you understand what I just told. Okay, your RL min should, the minimum value of RL should be at least Rs into Vz divided by Vs minus Vz for the Zener diode to work in breakdown region. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. In the same way, can you keep on increasing the value of RL? What is the problem if you keep on increasing the value of RL?
VTH increases.
Yes.
What
VTH.
increases? Obviously, VTH increases, but something, what is the bad thing which can happen?
Diode may damage.
Why? You're absolutely right. Why are you saying that diode may damage?
More current
Because
will
of
flow
more
through that.
current, sir.
Sir, RL plus RS will also increase, right?
Excellent. See, someone told the answer. So this is IS, this is IZ, and this is IL, right? And all of us know that IS, if I write KCL, IS would be equals, my goodness, this stylus is not working. IS equals IZ plus IL. Am I right? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I already told that IZ has a maximum rating associated with it. You cannot have a higher value than IZM, right? Now, what happens is if you keep on increasing RL, then the current flowing through RL will be less. Am I right? You will end up getting minimum current. What is IL? IL equals VZ divided by RL. Am I right? IL isn't it VZ divided by RL?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, VZ or VS, sir?
You tell me. How is it VS divided by RL?
The source.
What is the voltage across RL? Isn't it same as VZ?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
So, when you choose RL as maximum, let me find out what is the maximum load resistance which I can have. Then you will get IL as minimum, right? You will get minimum IL value. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And IS is a constant value. IS does not change with any of these. What is IS? IS is nothing but VS minus VZ divided by RS. And that is a constant value. Now, if IL decreases and IS is constant, doesn't it mean that IZ should be more? So if RL increases, what happens is IZ increases. And if IZ increases, we know that IZ cannot be more than the maximum rating of the Zener diode. right?
Yes, sir.
I'll again show in the formula. See, IL is decreasing, IS is constant, right? So what would IZ be? IZ would be IS minus IL. If IL is decreasing, then IZ increases. That's what you mean, right? So if you keep on increasing RL, IZ keeps on increasing. If IZ keeps on increasing, you know that IZ cannot go beyond a particular value, which is already present, right? So it is very important that you find out what is the maximum load resistor also. Okay, so it is again very vital for you to know this formula. IS equals, you know that IS equals IZ plus IL, but it can be written as IZ max plus IL min. Because whenever you have IL min, you will end up getting IZ max. Or you can find out IL min by substituting IZ max in the equation. Okay, let us try to understand it by solving a problem. Okay, now I'll solve a problem for you to understand it better. All right, shall we solve a problem?
Yes, sir.
Great, we will solve. This will help you. Okay, so there's a voltage source 10 volt. Yes, okay. RS is 100 ohms. And I have a Zener diode whose Zener voltage is 5 volts. Okay, this is 5 volts. I have a load resistor connected in parallel, and that's a variable load resistor. Copy this down quickly. This is the time. Oh. I may take another 5-10 minutes. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the question. Okay. I mean, the question is, what is the minimum and maximum value of load resistor which I can have so that the Zener diode acts as a voltage regulator? Okay, please copy down the question. What is the minimum and maximum value of RL so that the Zener diode acts as a voltage regulator? How will you find out the minimum value of RL? Minimum value of RL is possible if the voltage this node is at least equals VZ. No, it has to be at least 5 volts, right? We have already solved
Yes,
for
sir.
it. We already know the equation. RL min equals, what is the equation? RL min equals RS into VZ divided by VS minus VZ, right? We just solved that equation here. This one, RL min. I just substituted there because I know all the values. What is RS? RS is 100. No, sorry. Yes, RS is 100. What is VZ? VZ is 5 divided by VS minus VZ. VS is 10, VZ is 5. So divided by 5. What is the answer? RL min
100.
should at least be 100 ohms. You cannot have an RL resistor there below 100 in the circuit. If RL is below 100, this Zener diode is not going to act like a voltage regulator. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For the voltage across the RL to be at least 5, I mean to be exactly 5 volts, and that is when the Zener diode acts as a regulator, voltage regulator, the minimum value of RL which is required is 100 ohms. If you have a resistance below 100 ohms, it is not going to act like a voltage regulator. And it is very clear, no, since in this question, see, You need not even apply all these formulas. It is common sense. When I tell that this is 100 ohms, you're giving 10 volts, 100, 100. If you have two resistors connected in series, then it means 5 volts across each resistor, right? 5 volts across this RS and 5 volts across this RS, right? So the voltage, Zener voltage is 5 volts, right? So at least you should have 100 ohms here connected. I hope you understood what I just told. For people who know the concept, you would have understood, right? If you have equal resistors, then the voltage is divided equally, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
Zener voltage, since is 5 volts, you of course should have RL to be equals 100 ohms. Okay. Next, how will you find out what is the maximum value of RL that you can have? This is the minimum value that we found out with the formula. How will you find out the maximum value? You know the voltage at this point. You know the voltage at this as VZ, right? What is IS? Can someone tell me what is IS? IS equals, this is IS current. It is 10 source voltage minus VZ, which is 5. This is not writing. I'll write in another page.
0.5 milliamperes.
Yes, so IS equals 10 minus 5 divided by 100. Am I right? This you will get 50 milliamps. Am I right? So IS is constant. IS does not change. I already showed in the equation that you can find out IL. I mean, when will you end up getting maximum RL? You will get maximum RL when you have if you look at this equation, right? Again, an important equation. You know what is IS, okay? You can find out what is IL min. IZM is given in the question, no? IZM is given in the question. I did not mention that. I'm very sorry. Where is the question? Yes. IZ min is given in the question, which is the maximum Zener current. Maximum Zener current is 30 milliamps. It means to say that in this branch, you cannot have a current to more than 30 milliamps. So this is the maximum current which the Zener diode can accept. Beyond that, this diode will damage. Means to say that this circuit will not work beyond 30 milliamps, right? Now, what you have found out is IS. You can find out what is IL min. IL min would be equals IS minus IZM. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you look at this equation, you can find out IL min equals IS minus IZM, right? You can find that out. How much is the value? You will get 20 milliamps because 50 minus 20, 30 is 20 milliamps. So once you find out what is IL min, obviously you can find out what is RL max. Because you know RL max equals, what is resistor equals? Voltage divided by current. What is the voltage? Voltage is 5 volts. Current is 20 milliamps. What is the value? 250 ohms. If you give a load resistance greater than 250 ohms in the circuit will not work because the current flowing through the Zener diode will be greater than 30 milliamps. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm a bit fast here because I mean there is no time. your T1 syllabus is still whatever I taught now. Okay, till today's class is your T1 syllabus. When is your test starting? Next week, right? From Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
When is our test? When is this test? First one or second one?
Third one, I guess.
Third one, okay. Did you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
I hope you have understood. Okay, so that's about it. If you have any doubts at any point of time with respect to anything relevant to the syllabus, you are free to ask me. Okay, I will respond. Okay, if I don't respond, keep on reminding me, keep on pinging me. Okay, all right. All the best for your